Let's get to business news with Nona Peltier. Nona, so ANZ, right, the bank, they're taking a bit of a dent with their profits. What's going on?
New Zealand's biggest bank, that's right. And their net profit, that's the bottom line that they have to report, it dropped 8% to $1.825 billion. So that's the drop.
Still big numbers, but
Very big.
A significant percentage drop.
True. But when you look at their cash bottom line, which is the one that they think is a better measure of their performance, it rose 2% to $1.93 billion. And that's because it reflected the sale of their stake in Paymark, which is like the FPOS company, and an insurance company that they had called OnePath. So overall, the company, their bottom line is, it's pretty weak for the bank. In past years, they've done better, obviously, so because they're down. And they described it as one of their most difficult and challenging years reputationally, which isn't surprising because we've had them in the news an awful lot this year for a number of reasons, not least of all their chief executive leaving under a cloud of concern over spending that wasn't authorized or whichever.
Yeah.
Which way.
I seem to recall a wine in a wine cellar.
Yeah, that's right, a wine. And I think a limousine car, was it that?
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to Z then. This is the energy company, right? Largest fuel company. Also, downwards with the profits?
Really significantly. In this case, it's down 74%. Yeah, quite a lot. And of course, that's our biggest fuel retailer. And, they also do other things, wholesale too. And they own jet fuel. So, yeah, they took quite a hit this last financial year. But they had flagged it last month that they were going to have a pretty bad result. And certainly they delivered on that. However, the outlook, it wasn't too bad. I mean, the market didn't react terribly to it because it was what they'd forecast, so they'd already priced that in. The reason why is retail competition. It's really, really tough. That's what the company said. They also said that commercial was sluggish. So in August, we had a lot of wet weather. And so their diesel sales depend on bulldozers, that kind of equipment being used. So they thought, okay, well, it will perk up in September, but it didn't. And so that's causing them a little bit of worry. Yeah, so overall, they have an underlying profit. They have a number of ways of measuring profit. But their underlying full-year profit, I think the companies, we'll see what happens. They were a little bit unsure, I think, of economic conditions, but they certainly tied their downturn to that.
Interesting, the numbers given that, they're saying to you stiff competition there, and earlier we were told that all the petrol companies are taking big profits from consumers.
Yes, that's right. But it's interesting that Z Energy is saying that that might have been based on information the Commerce Commission had last year. But the situation over the last 4 months is certainly painting a different picture and suggesting that even some of the smaller retailers in parts have gone out of business. Because competition is so tight now.
Hey, what else has been happening on the markets today, Nona?
You know what? Kind of interesting stuff overseas because we had the U.S. Federal Reserve decide on interest rates and they cut them by 0.25%. And the market seemed to like that because they were still non-committal on where things are heading. So that was, in these days, not bad news, I suppose. So our own top 50 index, it fell just 2 points. To 10,788. And the New Zealand dollar perked up on that interest rate cut from the US dollar, 64.3 US cents, but it was otherwise really little changed against the Australian 92.8 cents and the British pence 49.7.
Thanks, Nona. Nona Peltier with our business wrap.